Call the meeting to order at 5:30. Article 2, Road Commissioners Report. Paul's not here tonight, so we're going to skip over that article, but he's been out patching. I think they're just about done patching. They're on the culverts, and they're going to be on the ditching and shoulders here right now. So he'll report on that next week or next month. Article 3, Town Office Report. Office hours. So the office hours are going to change. DMV doesn't open up until 8:30 in the morning, and the girls come in at 8. So they're going to come in at 8:30 and save a half hour and stay till 4 o'clock, or it's actually going to be 4:30 when they get done every day. So same amount of time in hours, but they're going to start a half hour later in the morning. And then on Wednesday, it's brought to our attention that we're going to have, just on Wednesdays only, the town office will open at 10 a.m. The girls will still be here at 8:30, but that gives them once a week, an hour and a half to get caught up on paperwork without anybody in house doing transactions. So I think we need a motion on that. Okay, we get a motion. We need a second. Any discussion? Yeah.
It's really convenient to be able to go to the town office and register, like, pay your excise tax on a new one, and then head down to the DMV,
Oh, yeah.
you know, and be there when they open.
Yeah.
I mean, is
So-
that not feasible anymore for the town people?
On the regular days, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, 8:30, the DMV doesn't even open until 8:30. So no matter what, you can't pay your stuff until DMV opens, right?
No, you
So
said,
on the new stuff. On the new stuff, on new vehicles.
So sometimes when there's questions when we open,
Yeah, go ahead.
so when we open at 8 o'clock, you come in with a brand new registration. What ends up happening is sometimes there's information that we need and we cannot access motor vehicle until 8:30. So you're sitting
as far as
around.
like calling them?
Correct.
Correct. Is that something that we as townspeople would just know that if we had an issue, we would have to either wait and come back? I think it's really, a lot of people work and go to the town office first thing in the morning before they go to work.
And we're not going to know until you come with that registration to know if that is something we need to call motor vehicle for. So those that are coming in, but, so
I mean,
if you're sitting around for a half hour,
So I would just register my regular vehicle.
So, that's just motor vehicle to try to call for any situation. Is 8:30.
But if you don't have to call them, you could do it before 8:30, correct?
We're going to try it for a while. And if it doesn't
My
work out,
question is, if you don't have a question to DMV, you can still register your vehicle before 8:30, correct?
You can register a vehicle, that's correct.
Okay. If I don't have to go to the DMV, I could
But
still
we're not going to
register.
open at 8 o'clock. That's what we're looking at.
any other discussion? All in favor? Motion carries. All right. Sign of privileges to all the bank accounts. Get access to the bank. So the motion is for Carla to go to the banks and get signed on to the bank accounts. Yep. Okay. Any discussion? No. Okay, second.
Yeah.
Any discussion?
No, we're just all set.
You're all set?
We're all set.
All in favor? The motion is to let Carla go into the banks and get signed on to the bank accounts as a new clerk. She's going to go in and sign for that.
Thank you for reading it.
All in favor?
Yep.
Motion carries. All right. All right, rapid renewal. The rapid renewal that we've been having some questions on, we're going to table that at this time because the Trio system is going to make us start doing stuff online. So instead of paying that $1,500 upfront fee, we're going to end up getting that into our package, coming right up probably.
We don't know, we're coming out with a new web,
Yeah.
and it may include rapid renewal.
So instead of paying it and then actually having to log into it no matter what they're going to force us to save us that $1,500. So we'll keep you guys updated when that comes out. Article 4, other business. Annual meeting. Our annual meeting is slated to be July 9th. Any discussion on that? Okay. Motion to meeting for July 9th, annual meeting.
Yeah, we're gonna have all the officials, but it's gonna be ready to go by then.
Motion,
Okay.
second, all in favor? Motion carries. What time is the meeting? 6 o'clock? Where? It's gonna be here. Yeah, it'll be in the garage. Yeah, the school's done. They're, oh, 6:30, excuse me, 6:30 on the annual meeting. And it'll be here in the garage. M. Levesque. Yeah, that's on the lease deed here. She paid her taxes all up, and she's planning on selling the property. All right, we need our witness. We need our, okay,
Second.
all in favor?
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Oh. They all were. Oh.
Great, Matt, is there a vote on that?
Yes. Yeah.
Three year?
Yeah. Well, all right. Well, all right, the next select board meeting, tentative July 16th, 2024. That's just a notice is all. Next item is the comprehensive planning committee for the survey update. That's Dave Hall.
So, as Dave goes to hand out the survey results, as the reporter to the Comprehensive Plan Committee, we're ready to share with you our survey. As you all know, there was a survey completed with all of you back in February, actually, in somewhat March. We took all survey results and really want to thank everybody who participated in that. So the last time we did a survey was in 1994. A long time ago. The last comprehensive plan was completed in 1997. A lot of the information that we sought from you was similar to that plan in 97, but it had some changes to it. That we used the New Sweden plan, which was completed in 2020, to help guide us. So the total number of surveys that were handed out were 505 surveys. We received 205 returns. That's a 41% return rate. For those of you who do surveys, 41% is exceptional. In 1994, it was 40%. So I want to celebrate that we did 41% return rate. 99% of all the surveys returned were of Woodland residents. As you know, we use the tax listing to send out the surveys. 1% came back from non-residents. The average number of people in the household that responded is 2.38 members. We asked all of you what you thought was good about Woodland. The priority is as listed. Scenery was number 1. Our school, number 2. People in the community, number 3. Traffic, I think less traffic, is number 4. Taxes, number 5. Non-zoning, number 6. Roads was number 7. And services available was number 8. There was seeming on some of these surveys that people seemed a little confused about the rank ordering, but I think overall that went fairly well. The next question that was asked was, what do you like least about living in Woodland? The number 1 response was our roads. Number 2 was illegal dumping. I would note, if you read the 1997 plan, those were the 2 things that were at the top of the list as well. Number 3 is our taxes. I would note in the 1997 plan that it was at the bottom of the list. Number 4 was lack of services. Number 5 is there's no public transportation. Number 6 was no zoning. Number 7 was our school. And then the last one was rural lifestyle. So you can see that rural lifestyle and scenery is what we like best about Woodland. One of the key questions that we asked all of you was, should Woodland be an unorganized territory, which would mean that the state would govern us and not a board? The answer was 26% of the surveys completed said yes, 66% said no. As you can guess, there were no responses to some of those surveys, that was 7%, and 1% had other suggestions to the committee. So moving on to the next part of this question, for those who answered no to the question above about a board, how many, if you were going to keep your board, how many board members would you want? The options were 3, 5, and 7. 24% said 3 members. 45% said 5 members. 5% said 7 members. As teams, we looked for some clarity from the surveys because there was an opportunity to give feedback in writing. The number 1 concern by 74 members that were responded wrote, their number 1 concern was concerns about leadership. Number 2 was our poor road conditions. Number 3, lower taxes. And then there was a variety between 6 and 2 comments. Community events was seen as a high priority for several members on the survey. Better internet was suggested, especially when the question was asked about the internet. Code enforcement was identified as a concern. Social media and stopping social media content was identified. Illegal dumping was listed again. Trash disposal for the community being accessible was something of concern. A couple members thought closing our school should be considered as an option. And paying for our taxes and other kinds of things online was identified. One of the other questions that we asked was, is internet access adequate for you to maintain a modern lifestyle? The majority said yes, 66%. 27% said no. 5% did not respond. On other responses, there was only some other suggestions about what should be done for internet access in the community. Going on to the next question, does Woodland need a community center for meetings and voting? As a committee, I think it was identified that though we asked this question, there was huge confusion about it. People assumed that if you said yes to a community center, there would be automatic increase for taxes. Dave, did you want to say anything more about that? Okay. 19% of the responses said yes, we should have a community center. The 79% said no. 1% had no response, and then other suggestions were listed. If it was yes, where would you have it? Near the school, town office, or near the trail system in Woodland were suggested. Please note, for those many that said no to having a community center, the suggestion was to use our town office and our school better. The next question was, should Woodland have a recreation committee? Again, I think there was a little confusion about this, but 32% said yes, 57% said no, 8% did not respond, and other responses was 1%. The last question was, are you interested in serving on the town board or on a committee? 3% said yes, 29% said no, 63% did not respond to this question. And then there were other suggestions. So I'm going to hand it back over to Dave as the chair.
A couple of comments I'd like to add on the Woodland Community Center and the Rec Committee. Those are kind of tied together. Now, when we had COVID strike, the school kind of disappeared from public use. We didn't want anybody in there. And it's just a matter of time until something else comes and we shut that down. So we can't really count on the school being the center of our town if we want to continue and grow. And in terms of the recreation committee, they're not an expense. Their purpose is to pursue grants to build stuff. That's how Caribou got its park and ride. That took them a very short time to get a big chunk of money from the government to install that. But in order to do that, the town has to have a recreation committee. It's approved by the town, it's in good standing, and then they can pursue grants, they can apply for grants, they can control what they do with the grants after they get the grants. And the last thing I wanted to mention was that last question. Are you interested in serving on the town board or committee? This is the single best argument I can see for going unincorporated. If a small town cannot afford to pay professionals to do everything that needs to be done, and if no one wants to volunteer, we're just SOL.
Well, that
Thank you.
63% doesn't say it's a no. You don't have-
That's a no by not answering it. That's a no. The question is, do you want to volunteer? You can say yes or you can ignore it. But yes is the only one that says that you're willing to help. If you don't answer, you're not showing up.
Well, I know that some of the, like that question, for me, it would depend. It would depend on what kind of boards there were and what kind of need there was.
There's all kinds of boards and there's always needs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I'm on the school board, so.
3% is 6 people, matter of fact. Dave, tell them more about this. We can get a grant to build up.
Okay, you want to continue in? One of the ideas we've been kicking around is that we have a location in town that's right on the track, on the ATV trail. It's an empty field that would be available at absolute minimal cost. But we would need a rec committee to take control of it. And we'd have to pursue a little bit of construction to grade it out, get parking in there. Then we would have a parking ride like Caribou. And we'd also would have a location to put in a clubhouse, community center, or something like that that would be available for the public to use. But the first step was to get a recreation committee going for the town, some people who are here that want to get involved and invested in development. Yeah.
Does the town currently own that land?
Huh?
Does the town currently own that land?
The town does not. The town could own it in the future. I actually own the land. I am willing to donate it to the town, but we've got to get a rec committee going to get started.
And once we have that, finish it off, we could probably get a grant to build a community center. It wouldn't cost taxpayers for the community community center, and we could all use it from our community for whatever we needed.
Like a birthday party
Including,
or
yes, including
Wow.
voting, meetings, birthday parties, anniversaries. It would help our town have it, but 79% of the people, when we passed the survey out, voted against the community center.
Well, I don't, and I'm not saying that it was wrong. I don't think a lot of people understood.
Yeah, I don't think it was a full.
I mean, with this explanation, it makes more sense.
It probably wouldn't happen, it would have to be the taxpayers pay for it. It wouldn't happen. There's grants available.
Oh, I'm a taxpayer, I wouldn't vote for it if I had to pay for it.
One person I talked to, they were definitely against it. I mentioned grants, and so that's still gonna cost us a lot of money. I mean, they were just dead set against it. And no talking could change them.
Yeah.
You get them thinking,
The absolute first step is to get a recreation committee in the town. Then you can start progressing through. It's not gonna happen by next fall, but, in the next few years, things will be done. But we would have something we can rent.
Would it be possible to resubmit that survey to the town people with better explanation?
Like,
That
yeah,
possibly
I
then
don't
they
know.
can make a more informed decision? To do a second survey?
I think we could vote on it at the town meeting.
We have a whole lot of residents that might not have that opportunity. That maybe if they have that information, they might change it.
So I think the recommendations can go to the board members, and if the board decides to, based on this discussion, to be in favor of developing a committee, the board can actually meet.
But then we have to have people in town willing to volunteer.
Right.
And willing to work.
that's a tough part.
But I do own the venture that the 63% that didn't respond one way or another weren't informed. If they were informed that it's not going to come out of your tax dollars, I'd almost bet you could say a higher response. That's what I'm pointing.
I think you could ask the board to bring that to a town meeting and get some approval from the town for that. The reason I'm avoiding a survey is it's really hard to develop. You have to mail it, there's a cost to it, and then track it. And then if you do a survey, we have to put it in the comprehensive plan, which is not collected. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Gene.
Matt, rather than go round and round on this, you can't do a thing without put some paperwork if you guys are willing for people to sign up, off the board, to be on the record. If they don't, it's a dead issue.
What if we have like a survey at the annual meeting that when they come in, they can take a copy, they can fill that out and leave it with us. Leave it with you guys at the end of the annual meeting.
That would work fine.
I'm sure the question will be publicized.
Yeah.
We can put the reporter sitting right here.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
I'm up again for the next item.
Planning board.
Planning board, yeah. I would like to have two alternates appointed to the planning board. One would be Sherry Parker, and the other would be Neil Moore.
Yep. Second that. Motion, second, all in favor, discussion. All in favor? Welcome to the planning board, as alternates.
So that's for somebody who can't make it.
Article 5, public question and answer. Go ahead, Joey.
I'd like to ask, we're gonna have our town meeting here in a few weeks. If somebody could get a loudspeaker over here and that, or to stand by so everybody can hear. This is not a good place to have
Guy
Is that
Craig was at the
possible?
PA system.
PA system.
Yeah. Hold it to the town. The school has a speaker too. Yeah, we'll look into that, make sure we got some sort of a microphone. Yeah. Annual town meeting. We have one here?
Well, I don't know, I'm here, but.
The school. The school.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we'll see you that. Okay.
Hopefully it won't be so hot, you can turn all this stuff off.
Yeah. Yeah. I think if we open the doors, all the heat is rolling right now. So, I like the heat. All right, yes.
I just wanted to confirm, except, other than Wednesday, the town office is 8:30 to 4:30.
Yes.
Amen.
8:30 to 4. The girls will still be here cashing out until 4:30 like they always are.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So,
And then Wednesday, 10 a.m.
right. So there's not any chance that we can, like, we can do 8 to 4. We can have services 8 to 4 right now. So you're gonna take a half an hour.
Yeah. Just because of the motor vehicle doesn't open up till 8:30.
No, I understand why we're opening at 4, or opening at 8:30.
Yeah.
But why can't we, like, 4:15, like we were going? Because we can go in at 3:45 and do something like that.
Yeah, well, I think we're open until 4 right now anyways. So if they roll after,
But we're losing half an hour on the other end, which I completely understand.
yeah,
And that's where the rapid renewal, if we could just do it.
do it online.
Yeah, because I work 8 to 4:30.
Yeah,
You know, I was here this morning at 8 o'clock and I did my vote and then I went to work.
yeah.
I get it that the DMV doesn't open until 8:30, but there's other services that are provided by the town office that
But see, these,
don't require the state of Maine to have to talk.
well, these guys don't take a lunch either. It's open, so there's no,
They could, I mean, they could alternate.
we leave it up to them.
Well, no, you're the board.
Yeah, it's all voted on, so.
What are the Wednesday hours?
10 to 4:30, 10 to 4. Open, they'll still be here at 8:30, but the door will open at 10 o'clock.
So will they still be here at 8, but the doors are
So
open?
they're gonna be here at 8:30 now instead of 8.
So they're only getting paid 8:30 to 4?
4:30. Yeah. 8:30 to 4:30. Go ahead, Sarah.
Yeah, I'm not seeing the minutes as an agenda item on the last meeting, and I'm not sure if it's on this agenda. I haven't seen the agenda.
They're coming. We've been super swamped in the town office side, and he's working on them diligently.
No, my question is, I haven't seen an item for minutes on the last agenda.
Yeah.
And is there an item for the minutes on this agenda?
Not on this agenda. We took it off because they weren't ready.
Okay.
So, but there will be.
Okay, so it's not a question of you changed your policy?
No.
You're saying they're simply not ready?
Yeah, they weren't ready today, so we took that off the agenda for today.
And I have a question about, there are new employees of the town. How many new employees do we have?
We have Carla, she's our new clerk, and we have Paul Coy, who's road crew. We've got Walker Clark, who's road crew. Two new road crew guys, and then Carla.
Okay, have you guys taken a vote on these employment positions?
Yeah.
The board?
We had Paul hire them.
So has there been a board vote to hire the clerk, for example, or the treasurer?
Yeah, we voted to hire her.
And
We
when-
voted to hire Carla.
When did you do that?
What was the date for it? Yeah, you'll have to,
Was it done in a public meeting?
it was done in the executive session. Yeah. So that would come out from the executive session.
Thank you very much.
Go ahead, Bill.
You can't vote in executive session.
We didn't vote, we come out and voted out. Yeah.
I misunderstood.
Yeah. Any other comments or questions? Go ahead, Bill.
Sorry, I'm gonna take the oxygen out of the room. I put in a request for the expense revenue sheet for last fiscal year. The one in the book goes through May,
Yeah.
and I haven't gotten it yet, so just wondering what the status of that is.
On the desk, they've been working on it.
No, well, I mean, it's in this book, but it's the wrong one.
You want one up to current date?
I want one that goes from February 1 of 23 through January 31 of 24. The last fiscal year. It's the one you guys should have been referencing when you were putting your budget together.
The one that's in book?
The one that's in the book goes through May. Nope. No, it's not. It goes through May. It says all months at the top. It would say February to January is what it would say at the top. It wouldn't say all months. I'm not talking about the general ledger. The general ledger is the correct one. It's the expense and revenue sheet.
We'll get you a copy.
Thank you.
I have one more question.
Sure.
So the warrant, the town report book that was published last week, or that we all got a copy of last week, the yellow one, is that being amended in any way
Yes, it
between
is.
now?
Yeah.
And what are meetings for that amendment being announced?
No, we're not,
But there's going to be decision-making about the warrants that are in that book that's being republished, and that's going to take place in some sort of
We just cleared the slate and creating a whole new warrant.
Are the individual warrant amounts or wording at all going to be changed?
Yeah.
How many paragraphs are in that book?
They're going to be changed, but it's not going to change any dollar amounts.
this is correct.
And is there gonna be a meeting to discuss that?
There's gonna be an addendum sheet when you guys come in, before the meeting. You'll have to follow along the addendum sheet before. Yeah, we'll post a new warrant.
So we're using the same book as the addendum sheet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't hear you, Dean.
We're getting tired of all the delay tactics that keep the government from running. So I hope you're ready.
So are we right now running without a budget?
Nope. All right, if there's no more questions. Get a motion to adjourn, we need a second? Second? Any discussion? All in favor? Discussion? All in favor?